Howdy everyone, this is Tricia and I am back with another little craft project. I found these candle holders at the Dollar Tree. So they were only $1 and they're glass. Very nice little candle holders. They're actually very sturdy. So I thought this was a great deal for $1 and I got 2 of them. And I thought I'd do a little craft with them. Rather than putting a candle in them, I'm going to turn them into something else. But what? Well, I went looking around, and yes, I decided to do something Eastery. I know Easter's already coming up in a few days, but what the heck, I decided to do something at the last minute because I found items on sale. So I got these large Easter eggs. I got these at Hobby Lobby, about $3 for both of these. I did get them at a discount again because I like to use my coupon there. And I thought these were pretty cool. And it has like a colored side, and then it has a clear side on them. I decided I'm going to decoupage the 1/2 of one of these eggs. So I'm going to use the colored side and save the clear for some other little project. And I might make 2, or I may just make 1 of these. I'm not really sure, depending on how the first one comes out, because this is really a trial and error kind of a project, and if it works out, you're obviously watching this video because it did in some capacity. Alright, so in order to do my little craft and decoupage the eggs, I went ahead and I got some scrapbook paper. You can use like wrapping papers, you know, whatever little bits you have left over. Sometimes I save them after I've done some gift wrapping. I end up having a nice substantial piece, and I save them in case I have a little gift. Well, you can use those little scrappies if you save them. Or you can use like tissue paper, which would probably be a bit easier to handle, especially on something with a curve like this. But I got some scrapbook papers, and I've used them before for decoupaging, and they work just fine. And I picked these colors here. I picked this one, which has like a blue, and it has like a damask kind of a look about it, and then it has a kind of a vintaged, you know, aged look. And I picked this one with in pinks with some I think it's a kind of a brownish gray. I don't know what colors that it is in there, but it's paisley. It's sort of like an Indian inspired type paisley, and I thought it was really pretty. And I thought it, even though it doesn't have any blue and this doesn't have any pink, they seem to coordinate well together. And then just to tie them together, I got this other one here. It has again that kind of a grayish color to it, and it seems to coordinate well with these two. And I also had some leftover scrap paper from the last decoupage project I did for Valentine's, and I may use these. I may use this black, and this definitely may use this black and this tanned toned designs. I'm not sure about this, well, maybe the cherry one. I'm not sure about this one though. It's a little too much red, and I don't want to put red in here. I really want to go with the kind of pinkish, Eastery kind of a feel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these into little scrappy pieces of paper. So what I'm going to do is first is I'm going to cut like maybe like a quarter part, you know, piece of this. I'm not going to just start cutting off. I don't want to ruin the whole sheet. I don't know how much I'm going to use, so I don't want to do that. So I'm going to cut about a quarter off of each of these papers, and then just tear them with my fingers, and or by hand, if you want to just say that, and just have them be like kind of rough cut. And I'll use those little pieces to do the decoupage on the egg. And the egg doesn't have a lot of space or area, I should call that. It doesn't have a lot of area to cover, but I do want to do the inside of it too, so I don't really know how much I need, so I'm just going to cut about a quarter of this. Now to decorate around my little egg, and you're probably wondering, well, how am I going to place it on here? I'm not just going to place the half on here. I really want a base on here first. So I decided that I would cut a round out of a piece of cardboard paper. And I have pieces of cardboard paper from some pots that I recently received in the mail. So I had a really nice piece of cardboard. You could also use the box itself and cut out a piece, or maybe use foam core board, which I really love using foam board. It's foam core board or foam board. Really like using that because it's nice and sturdy, and it'll hold the weight. And I think this will do just fine because this little plastic egg doesn't weigh, it hardly weighs anything. And I want to put this on top of here to create a base on here, so then I can put that and some of the little decorations on there. How big, I don't know quite yet. I'm going to decide that in a moment, but that's what I'm going to use this cardboard for. And I also chose it because it'll be easier to cut with my scissors. I also got these little birds. I got 2 of them, and I did get these at the Dollar Tree, so they also, again, they were only $1, and they're really pretty. There's nothing wrong with them. In Christmas, I had bought some little red cardinals, and they were a little messed up, but I still got them because I then ended up covering them in glitter and made them really pretty. These don't have really any flaws to them. They're really nice. You know, they just, I guess they just had put them out or something, and or stock them out. They're an ornament. They have a little clip on the bottom where you can just clip them onto something, and you know, maybe like an arrangement that you already have at home or something, or even on a little hat or something, just look cute. But I'm gonna glue them into my arrangement somehow, and I got 2 of them because I didn't know if I was gonna do 2 of these or just one. So I'm prepared in case I do like my project and I decide to make a second one. And I believe I'm going to do this as a little gift. I'm not sure yet if I get to do it on time to give as a gift, but I may do that. Okay, so I'm just going to use one little bird. I also got some more little eggs. I had shown you some of these eggs in a little pic in another video, but they were bigger. And these, I got these at the Dollar Tree, and there's 10 of them for $1. That's 10 cents each, and I think that's awesome. They're just little styrofoam. They're lightly painted, and they have some glitter on them, and they have a little bow, and they're on a little stick, and they're really cute. And I'm going to use these to decorate around my egg. Now, I could completely leave out the Easter egg decoration, and then just make this into just a little decorative little half egg with a little bird, and that could be used all year round. So I'm going to kind of hang on using these little eggs till the very last. Maybe I'll add some little flowers. I do have some laces, and I have a little scrap of lace right here right now. I have a little scrap of lace, like I just said. Oh my gosh, sorry. And I do have more laces, which I'm going to dig into because I may put these around the edge of the egg to decorate that, but maybe this is too small, so I'm going to see what I have. But just so you'll know, get yourself some little scrappies of lace, because you might want to use those. Maybe some little ribbon roses or little tiny flowers. And I happen to have some of that stuff, so I'm going to pull that out because I may use that instead of using my Easter eggs or anything Eastery, and just make it a little egg that can be there all year long. Just something really cute. All right, so I also have some of this burlap. And I saw someone do a nest out of burlap, and what they did is they cut out a little square, and I will be doing that for you, and I'll be showing you exactly what they did, and I'm hoping this will turn out just like what I saw in the video, because I thought it was such a great idea as to using these little fibers to create a little nest. You're going to be doing a little bit of work, maybe, you know, here, breaking up this a piece of burlap, but I think it's going to end up, from what I saw, it came out really cute, so I'm hoping I get the same results. Now my tools that I will need, as always, I like to use a glue gun. So have your glue gun ready and hot. Get some glue sticks ready also. I'm going to use my scissors. I'm going to use, more likely I'm going to use wire cutters, because if I do use those little eggs, I'm going to need to crack the little wooden stick, because obviously I don't need the whole length of them. Or I may use it to cut my wire if I decide to make some little bows with ribbon to put on there. So I need those ready. I have a brush here ready with my white glue. You can use any white glue. You can use decoupage glue. You can use Elmer's glue if you want. Anything that'll dry clear to decoupage, you can use the actual Mod Podge for decoupaging. So I need those, and I need a little tray to put my glue on, and I'm going to water it down just a little bit, and so I need this tray that doesn't, you know, something that has some little edges, and then I can grab my glue from there and do my decoupaging. So these are the tools that I'm going to need as of now. So make sure you got yourself your scissors, your wire cutters, a brush, and your hot glue gun, which is the most important. And I'm going to go ahead and get started on that burlap, and I'll be right back and show you how I'm doing that. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to cut out a little square of the burlap. It doesn't matter what size you cut it. This is what, about 3 by 3 inch square, so 3-inch square. It's more or less what you want, and that just depends on how long you want your little strings. So what you're going to do is you're just going to start pulling them off like that. Start pulling them off, and you can just kind of do some on one side, then the other side, maybe turn it around, do this side, and then so forth until you've pulled them all apart from the square. And then you've got a nice pile of them like so. Done. So you just want to keep doing that until you've got a satisfactory little pile. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take them and I'm just going to kind of form a little nest with them like that. Okay? So I'll do that a little bit in a better form. That's just so you can get an idea right now where I'm going with this. And I'm going to finish doing that. And now I've got my little papers here also. Sorry, that's the television in the background. I should turn that off. All right, so it's very distracting. I'm sorry. Okay, so then you've got your little scrapbooks of paper that I've already cut up. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut them with my fingers in random pieces, random shapes, random sizes. These could actually end up getting cut even more. I don't know. But you're just going to keep cutting those till you've got a whole bunch of little pieces to work with. And I've already got the half of my egg here ready. So what I'm going to do is I've got my glue and a little plate here. And mix it up with water. Sorry, I'm very distracted by what's going on the television. There seems to be an emergency alert. I will be back. Okay, so I'm back, and I'm mixing the water and the glue here to kind of thin it out a little bit, make it easier to spread on my project. And then what I will do is then, once I've cut up all my little pieces of paper, I will then add some glue and start adding these little pieces of paper. And I'm going to get them as close as I can to the edge. I don't have to get them too close because remember I am going to put some little lace trimming. I could even use some ribbon, so I can cut off that. I can cover that little edge with that. So that's basically what you're going to do is you're going to just take your little pieces of paper and start adding them on. But I'm not going to do that right now because I need to cut up more pieces and I want to mix them up. I don't want to use all the same color in one little spot. And as you can see, that one little piece covered up that one, but I'm going to overlap it with other pieces as I go along, and then I'm going to do the inside. So I don't think I'm going to need to use too many of these little pieces of paper, but if I'm going to go ahead and cut up what I do have here just in case, and if I do have any leftovers I'll just save them or toss them out because really this paper is not expensive and it may not be enough to do another project. So I'm going to go ahead and cut up some more of these papers, and I'm going to add some more decoupage on here, and then I'll be back before I finish decoupaging it so you can see what I've continued to do. Alright, so here is the outside of the egg, and I've added a whole bunch of little pieces of paper and glued them down, and then of course, of course I've also glued, brushed the glue over it to make sure I seal them. Now this little bottom part where I was kind of holding it while I was doing this, I'm not going to put anything on here because that's going to be glued down this way, so I'm not even going to bother covering that. So you might want to keep that in mind. So now I want to do the inside, and as I said, this outer edge here, don't worry if you don't cover all that up because I'm going to use, or you will if you do this craft, you're going to use some laces or some little trimmings to cover that. Now if you don't want to use any laces or trimming, then go ahead and get your little pieces of papers as close to the edge, and I would overlap them some over the edge. Actually I would have them go over as I'm doing it, and then you can just come and trim them, and there you can have a nice clean edge rather than trying to find the perfectly trying to get them perfectly on the edge. Just overlap them a little bit and then you can just trim that off. Unless of course when you're cutting your paper and you got all these little straight edges, then use those right on the edge and then you don't have to worry about that also. Now another thing, when you're at this scrapbook paper, because it's a little bit thicker than just like a tissue paper or something that you can decoupage a lot easier with, when you go around the curves, it kind of tends to want to flap back up, or straighten up, or I don't know how to explain this better than to actually put one down. But when you're putting it down like that, it doesn't want to stay down. It'll kind of go up. So make sure you get nice wet glue or a little extra water on your brush and get that on the paper, and that'll just wet it, and it'll make it softer, and then it'll fold down around the curves, just so. And of course, the smaller the pieces that you have, even though that's more papers you're adding on, more work to cut up all that. The smaller they are, the easier they are to wrap around little curves and things like that. So keep that in mind. I think it looks really pretty. Look at that. Okay, so now I'm going to do the inside, but I'm going to let it rest a little bit. Oops, sorry. I'm going to let it rest a little bit and let it dry, because if I get my fingers on any one of these little pieces, because the glue is sort of kind of getting really tacky, and if I get my finger on it, it'll get stuck on there, and then if I pull it off, I end up pulling off the top layer of the paper, and then I've had to, you know, cover here and there a few that happened earlier. So and I still have some paper here, as you can see, and I think that's just going to be just enough to do the inside. And again, on the inside, I'll try to get it as close to the edge as I can. I'm not going to worry about it too much, because I'm probably going to put another little lace on the inside, but I'm going to try to get as close to the edge and not leave like big gaps like this, because I don't want to have to do too much in there. But we'll see as I go along. I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to find a way to get this to stand, or just lay it like that. I'll let it dry a little bit. Now I could start on another one and get 2 of them going, but I think I'm just going to make 1 of them, and I'll save my other candle holder for a different project that has just now come to mind. So I'll be back as soon as this is dry, and I will continue. Okay, so I've done the inside of the egg, covered it with little pieces. I didn't bother with the very, very bottom, because I feel like I'm going to cover that up with something anyway. And I got as close to the edge as I could on the inside. Didn't do that great of a job. I could have maybe gotten a little closer up here, but it was actually harder doing the inside than it was the outside. So I gave up, and I decided I'm just going to cover that with some lace. Now, so maybe when you do it, you might want to do the inside first and then do the outside, because the outside is easier and it'll just seem like, oh, now it's going faster. Okay, so now for the little rounded piece that I want to use on here as my base. I showed you the cardboard at the beginning, and I decided to cut a circle, and I happen to have this little cardboard circle. You could use like a roll of ribbon or a little plate or a cup or something to find a circle in a size that you feel is adequate for your base. At first I traced the outside of the circle and I cut that out, and then I felt like maybe the inside of the circle would be better. So that's what I did. I traced the inside and then I cut it a little bit smaller. So this ended up being 5-inch diameter. So I measured it. It's 5 inches. So if you want to use the 5-inch diameter on these little candlestick to do what I'm doing with the size of items that I'm using, then 5 inches is your diameter. Maybe you want to go like 4 inches if 5 is too much. I think 4 inches would be a nice little circle too. It'll be about, so big. So then I decided that because I don't want this just the cardboard just being plain, even though I'm going to cover it with things, I'm going to go ahead and decoupage it. And I've already done the other side. And this side I'm actually going to use as my bottom, because even though it's the bottom, should it be looked at from underneath, I want it to be covered. Maybe if it gets put on something that has a mirror edge, I don't want it to be mirroring or a mirrored tabletop. I don't want it to be mirroring the cardboard. So I'm gonna just did a little bit of this. I did a little bit of peel on there. Look at that. I stuck my finger on there, and then I pulled up my finger and I pulled up the little piece of paper. So all I would do is just put another little something on there to cover that. So now I'm going to cover this part, which is going to be the top part. And so I'm going to take another piece of my scrapbook paper, trace it and cut it, and then glue that down. And then I'm ready to put it on here and get the next step. All right, here I'm back, and I've covered this side also with some decorative paper to make it all nice and pretty, and I want to put that on there. But before I do, I want to cover this little edge here. So I've gone through my boxes of trims, and I happen to have this one. It's got like little pearly little flowers. You could use like a rat tail or like a hemp little rope if you want to use that instead to go along this edge. Just make sure it's something that's wide enough to cover that. So I'm going to use that to cover the edge, and I think it'll give it a little bit of a little vintage look that I want. Got my hot glue gun ready here, and I've had it plugged in for a while. Now I'm wondering if it's on because you know what? It's actually cold, so I don't think it's on. And I'll be back. All right, so my glue gun is now hot enough, and I have a little ninja cat here on the floor trying to grab my cord now every time I move it. All right, here we go. Let's put some glue on the edge, a little bit at a time. Now where's the edge of my little trim here? Put that on there. Keep going all the way around. Little areas at a time. That's my dog playing with a kitty. They're being naughty. They always do that when I'm doing a video. They can't do this at any other time except when I'm doing a video or trying to sleep. Okay, shush, 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 quiet, quiet. That doesn't really help, but you know what? It makes me feel good to say it. Right, keep going with my glue all the way around. I need to push this down for some reason. It's not quite pushing. Okay, there it is. Now it is. Glue's coming out. Or maybe just my gun wasn't quite hot enough. I don't know. Alright, here we go. And I'm almost finished. There we go. Okay, I'm going to end right there. Obviously, because I'm finished. And that's it. The little trim around the edge. I think it looks pretty. So now I'm going to glue this part to this part. Alright, move it over. I'm going to put glue on the edge of this so that then I can see where I'm actually placing it rather than putting it on the paper item, the cardboard item. And also when you're putting if you're covering it with paper or fabric, because you could use some fabric to cut to cover your cardboard, make sure you put glue in the center area where you put down the paper, because you don't want to have it glued on the edges, because then you're only gluing this to the paper and not the actual cardboard, if that makes any sense. Kind of center it, eyeball it. If you want to actually do some actual measuring, then go right ahead. See? Now it looks like a little mini cake stand, doesn't it? It'd be cute to put some little cupcakes on there for a little birthday party for a little girl, like a little tea party. Make a whole bunch of these for your play setting. Oh my God, that's another idea. Anyway, yeah, you could do that. Why not? You could, again, take some candle holders. They're only $1 each. Cardboard is pretty much free, just from a box that you may already have. Cover it up with some pretty paper or maybe even some fabric. Add some trimming. Maybe make a little bow, have a little bow hanging off the edge, and then put little cupcakes or little cookies on here. Instead of a little plate, this would be cute. You know, serve everyone their little special treat for someone's birthday. A little tea party would be cute, even for adults. I think would be a cute little idea. Okay, so this could also be used as a base for maybe a little tchotchke, a little figurine or something that you have that's maybe small and it's kind of low on your table and you want to have it a little bit higher so it shows off. So this would be another thing you could do to use that as a base for that, to hold something that's small. Anyway, that's just an idea. I know it's a little bit of a kind of a shabby little craft, but we're going to make it look chic. Yes, we are. We're going to make it look really pretty. Okay. So here we go, our little egg here, and I'm going to decide that I want it about right here. Now, it's a little bit wobbly, and it's not, I don't think it might, if it glues down, it's only going to glue down like in a specific area. So I'm trying to think if I should put some styrofoam down and then put this on there. But I'm going to go ahead and try it. This is not completely dry. You do need to let it dry. I would wait an hour before, continuing to try to glue it down on anything. I'm going to put a substantial amount of glue. Some of it will ooze out, and that's okay because it's going to get covered. But I'm going to put in a substantial amount of glue to make sure that some part of it gets glued down, because I don't know which one will. I'm going to sort of center it again. Try to center it. There's a little part where Okay, I'm going to turn it around this way because you know that little part where it ended, it didn't quite close right here, so I want that in the back. Okay, so here we go. There it is. It's in the back now. It's back here, and there's plenty of glue here to hold this little egg here. Now you might want to put your little trimming on the edge before you glue it down, but I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to wait for it to dry up before I start adding any trims to it. But you can just imagine it's going to look really pretty with all the, let me turn this sideways, with all sorts of little ribbons and lace. So I'm going to do the inside of it first because I want to cover the inside yellow edge there. And I'm going to go ahead and use this little thin piece of ribbon, which is actually a little scrappy bit that was tied around a table runner that I purchased that is like a crocheted table runner. And it has this little piece of lace tied around it, and the label was on there also. And I thought, well, I'm not going to throw this little piece of lace. It's really pretty. It's like a crocheted piece of lace, and lo and behold, it works perfectly fine for this. So I'm going to go ahead and get going. Again, like I said, make sure this all dries really well before you start adding anything to it. But I'm going to go ahead and do this just for the sake of trying not to make this video too long. And basically I'm putting glue on the inside edge and then just tapping it onto the edge, making sure it covers those little spots. And I'm going to continue. I'm going to do it all the way around, and I'm going to choose some ribbons. I've got little scraps of lace in here. I've got some assorted little flowers, some ribbon roses, and some other little trims in my little boxes, and I'm going to go ahead and pick out something to decorate my Easter egg. So I'm going to go ahead and come back and finish doing the trimming around the egg, and then we're going to do our little nest. Yes. Alright, I finished adding all the trim on the inside, and now I'm adding a lacy trim on the outside, which is in a different color, but that's okay. I'm going to mix my tones and such. And now I'm putting it on the edge here, and that's so much easier because I'm doing the outer edge rather than the inside. Just to cover where that yellow plastic is showing. And I'm just going to kind of sort of eyeball and measure and cut here. Now I don't have to worry about doing the very, very bottom part of it because that's going to get all covered. Alright, let's get that in there. So a little dab of glue right there. And there we go. That's the outer trim. I want to keep adding even more to it. Just some more layers of a different ribbon. I found this one. It's really pretty. Hold it up here so you can see it. It's got little hearts on it. You can use anything really. And then I also have this string of little pearls that I'm going to use as well. Okay. Let's put that on top of that just because I want to make sure that the yellow is not showing. Put that on top, and it just creates another little layer that looks really pretty, I think. Okay. Oh my gosh, sorry. I'm just glad that my kitten doesn't really like chew on wires, but he loves to play with them. But still, I always get really nervous when he's messing with it because I don't really care about the wire. I just don't want him to get shocked, electrocuted, or something. But yeah, I mean, I do care about the wire, obviously. And if he was to chew it, I'd be upset. But right now that it's plugged in, I mean, it's more than just a concern over the wire. Okay. Alrighty. Get that on there. And if you can see the contrast, there's two different ribbon or lace. This is on here now. Okay, so now I'm going to add a little pearl trim around that, and I'm not going to put that on top of the little heart one, just kind of on the edge of it, just to finish off that edge. And just I don't know what he's doing now in the other room. I just hear things and I'm just really concerned now. It didn't sound like anything breakable. It just sounded like some plastic. Oh boy. Okay. It might be their food bowl. I don't know. He likes to knock over the our older cat's food bowl. We put it on the window ledge because that's where he likes to eat. And the main reason that we did that was because, you know, we didn't want the puppy to get at his food. So we put it on the window ledge, and now that's just where he likes to eat now. And now that we have this little kitten, the dog knows not that, you know, she already knows her bowl, so she's not going to go dig into another bowl. At least not while the kitty's eating at it. And believe me, that kitten will eat all its food. It doesn't leave anything behind. But anyhow, our older cat's food bowl is on the ledge of the window, so the little kitty likes to get up there and knock it over. And that's what it sounded like. It's usually what it is. All right, there we go. Little pearl trim is on the edge. And it's starting to look a little cute. Kind of pretty. It's a little more tilted than I wanted it, but that's what it is. It is what it is. Okay. Now I'm going to build my little nest with all these little strings from my burlap. How am I going to get them on there? That's a really good question. Okay, so I'm going to start at the front to make sure I cover that area. I'm going to put some glue, little swirlies. And I'm just going to take this and plop it on top. Whatever catches, catches. Plop some more. I'm going to pretend I am a little bird and I'm building a nest. So little birds would just come and get a bunch of little twigs and just put them on. And king. I'm just adding some more because I feel like the little twigs would all just be or overlapping each other. Let me get some more glue here. Now, if it's not enough, I'll just get some more of the pieces of that burlap, cut some more little squares, and string out some more of these pieces. I'm going to use the tip of my scissors to push down on it to make sure those little pieces are getting into the glue and not just floating on top. Doing this. I'm really liking that look. It's a little rustic added on there, but I'm really liking it. Now, you could go ahead and just get yourself a little nest. Now, purchase a little nest already made, but I'd get one that's a good size where you could actually put the egg in. So instead of putting this base on there, you would put the nest on the candlestick, glue that directly onto there, and then you could just glue the egg into it and all your other little decorations instead of creating one. But this is just something that I saw being done with burlap and I thought it was really cute, so I thought I'd try it, and I'm really liking it. I just feel like maybe more bits of burlap would be best so that it actually builds up a little bit nicer, a little bit thicker. Oh my goodness, I'm using up a lot of glue. I like using my large glue gun because they have those nice big thick glue sticks, and I don't have to be filling it up as often. But I really wanted one of these little precise pointed glue guns, and it just happens that it uses the little mini glue sticks. So until I find a larger one, this is great. I love using it. I really wanted it for little fine detail work when I have to put just little droplets of glue. But I'm really liking it so much that now I'm just using it for everything. So anyway, so I'll just have to deal with the fact that I have to keep adding another little glue stick to it. My goodness, I'm getting glue all over my fingers. I'm trying to pull off these little pieces that I know are not glued on, because they'll just come off later, and I don't want that to happen. Drop some more glue here. Overlap some more of these strings. Some more of these little twigs, burlap twigs. Okay, let's push that one down. Let's get some more of this on the inside up there. Okay, hold on, I get that one. Now, from my point of view, this looks really great. I don't know what it looks like from your point of view, but this is looking really nice. Okay, now I gotta remember that I am gonna put a little bird here in the front, so I don't need to cover that area too much. I think it's looking really great. Let me add some more twigs back here somewhere. Overlap them. There we go. I'm going to do some right in here. This time I'm going to have them come this way so that I'm using my nice scissors for this, but that's okay because the glue, the hot glue just comes right off of it. And I just gotta wait for it to get a little cool before I wipe it off. And it works just fine. Let me get some on this side. There we go. And I've got a few more little bits here. Okay, let me show you what it looks like. It looks like a mess. That's what it looks like, but I really like it. I like the look. You could cut off some more strings. I feel like I would want way more of these on there. I don't know if that's would be going overboard. I feel like I would want more of these little burlap strings on there. What do you think? What would you do? Would you add more? Or would you just skip this part and actually buy a little nest or a nice size nest to put on top of here? I really wanted to try that. So I think I may do another one, but I am going to get myself a little nest. So here I got my little bird, and the little bird came with this little clippy clip that I showed you at the very beginning. It's like a little hair clip, and they put it in there to clip it onto something, but I'm not going to use that part. I don't want to cut it off. I want to be able to recycle it, but oh, there, I pulled it off. Pulled it out because it was actually just inserted into the bottom of the little bird like so. So I just wanted to pull it out, and this is a nice little clip that I can use for something else. So I'm going to save that. Now my little bird can go there, but before I do put him on there, I want to put some little things inside. And I happen to have some ribbon roses in here somewhere. Let's see. Oh, I do have these pretty little ribbon flowers are white. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm trying to show it to you. It has a little pearl on the inside, little ribbon rose, little flowers that could be put all over it. Yep. I'm going to use some of those. Let's see if I have some other colors, because I feel like this little box only has like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Jackpot. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Okay, I've got a lot of stuff in here, but I don't want to overdo it because I don't want to know what to use. So I'm just going to pull out this one little bag that I happen to have, and this has a bunch of little ribbon roses in it in different colors. I'm going to just pour them all out, and then I'll figure it out. Look at that one. Isn't that pretty? That'd be pretty up there. There's only one like that, so I feel like it's going to be my little center flower up in the top. Let's put that on the top there. Just for the heck of it. There we go. Look at that. And then I'm going to add some other ones around it. Come on, honey. Some pretty kind of a lavender colored one. It's got some green on it. Oh, well, come on. There we go. Put some glue on it here. And then I've got some lighter colored ones, like this blue, like an old kind of dusty blue. That's kind of pretty. Put that up here, like in front here of it. And let me add another one of these. White ones are so pretty. I like these little, look like little daisies or something. And I put some in the back as well. Here's a darker toned blue, which I'm going to use. Can you see that? There. Okay, I'm going to use that. Back here. Look at that. The inside's still a little tacky. I just touched it right now. It's not quite wet. I feel like it needs a lot more time to dry. Get another one of these blue ones. Put it back here. Alright. There's a little cluster of flowers there. You can decorate it as you wish. You could evenly decorate them evenly on both sides. And this is a cluster of 2 little roses, and I feel like I'm going to use this on one of these sides here. Put that on the side here. And I'm going to put one in here also. Still a little tacky and wet in there. Alright, I am going to build a little rose, little cluster of flowers in there. Kind of coming up around. My goodness, I got a lot of little strings on me. Look at this cute little bow that I found in there. I need to look for some, excuse me, I need to find some ribbon to make some bows to put in there. There's so many little flowers in here. I'm just trying to make like a little bouquet inside of there. Well, goodness gracious. Little bouquet in there. I'm gonna get some of these blue ones, these little tiny ones in there as well. Some of these white. Put that down on there because it keeps coming off. Another little rose bed up here on the inside. Look at that. Yeah, a little cluster in there, little bouquet. And I kind of have it kind of going up like in a little curve there. And kind of crisscrossing across it there, going across. Oh, look at this cute little pink one. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to use that one. The very tippy tip here on the inside. Now next to this one. Another one like that. Little blue one. There. That looks so pretty. It looks pretty to me. And, oops, get that out of there too. Little webs from the hot glue gun. I have another little pink one here. I'm going to use that one on the other side. Okay, so, see the little cluster in there? Little bouquet of flowers. And here it kind of swirls upward. You can do it however you want. That's my little swirl. And now I'm going to glue my little bird right there. And now my little bird could have been pink or some other color that kind of coordinated, but I saw this yellow one and I thought it was so pretty. I really like yellow. I think yellow is such a pretty color. I don't use it a lot, so I gotta use it. There's my little bird on there. And I think I'm going to add some little ribbon bows. So now I need to get to my ribbons and I'll be back. Alright, I'm back, and I've decided to put more of these little bits of the burlap, little strings from it, to fill it up a little bit more, make it look more of a fuller nest area around it, and I think it looks a little bit better. I've gone ahead and I made a little bow and kind of tucked it under one of the little petals here on the side. I'd like to make another bow and tuck it up over here. So I just took some ribbon. So you can see it close up, a little ribbon with this little edge on it, and a little, for someone to decide, my little tail there. And then I'm just going to make a bunch of little loops back and forth, probably 3 on each side. That's what I did on the other one, just like so. And a little piece of wire, can't really see it. I'm going to put that around and twist it and twist my bow. And then I'm going to cut the other length here, kind of at an angle so that the edges of my bow. Okay, so now I'm gonna twist a little bit more, and this little bit of wire, I'm gonna trim it. That's why I have my wire cutters as well. And I'm going to tuck this underneath this little flower. Move that. Oops, sorry. I'm going to tuck it under this little petal, under that flower, so that you don't see that little bit of wire. I'm going to put some glue on it. Okay. Make sure it's focused. Put that underneath there, so this little petal covers it. Push down on it. Sorry, push down on it. There we go. There's my little bow, all tucked underneath. Just fluff it up a little bit here. There we go. It's sticking together because there's a little string of glue there. Okay. See that? And there it is. That is the finished product. Now you could add a lot more to it. You could add 2 little birds in there if you wanted to, maybe some little bird eggs. I had these little Easter eggs, which I showed you at the beginning, and I decided to not use them after all because it's only a few more days till Easter, and I want to give this as a little gift to my mom, and I really want her to have it there besides just the one moment she's going to have a couple of days there out, you know, there's a little display. I'm hoping she likes it. She does like that kind of a Victorian vintage kind of look of things, and I feel like this has that. It has a little shabby chic look to it. A little shabby, but kind of chic. Look at that. And I know she likes those colors, so I think she's going to like this. And so I want to give this to her, and I want her to be able to have it out, not just for Easter, because we're really close to it now. So I'm going to skip the Easter egg part, but you can certainly decorate this as an Easter egg, as an Easter decoration. I'm sure there's other ideas you could use on these candlesticks. So if you have any ideas, and if you have a a video that you've done with a craft idea on how to use these glass candlesticks. They're really inexpensive. Please go ahead and put your link down below in the comments so that we can go view them and share ideas. For now, this is mine. Tell me what you would do different. Tell me if you liked it. Please thumbs up the video, and please subscribe to my channel, and let me know if you have a channel that you'd like me to subscribe to, and I'll do that. And I hope you really like this and enjoy.